could never have been able to be valedictorian or even probably made it through high school without my mom and dad that pushed me and helped me make it through it. I'd like to give my other rose to my grandparents, Mabel and Jackie Carter, because they've been there through everything and helped me with a lot of afternoon snacks and a lot of homework assignments. Thank you all.
Yeah, he was amazing. He did a great job.
For me to be able to speak to so many people tonight. People only listen to me when they have a question or it's a test day. Well, tonight, our graduation marks the end of our high school years as we begin a new chapter of our lives. On behalf of the Echols County class of 2011, I'd like to start by thanking all of our families, especially our parents. For the past 13 years, you've baked cookies and cupcakes for our parties, attended our programs, went on field trips with us, sat through numerous ball games, and waited for this day to finally come. Our class also like to thank all of our school administrators and teachers who have inspired, threatened, and pushed us to reach this milestone in our lives. Other school personnel that have played a major role in helping us reach this milestone are our bus drivers who made sure we were at school, our lunchroom ladies who always had breakfast waiting for us when we arrived at school, and our custodial staff who made sure we had clean facilities for learning. Addressing the class of 2011 with the farewell speech has been one of the hardest assignments we've ever been given. After several attempts were trashed, I searched the internet for possible suggestions. Most of these speeches spoke about how we as graduates could basically conquer the world. We could find a cure for cancer, be CEOs of huge companies, or basically be the rulers of tomorrow. The speeches used the same old cliches we've heard all our lives about what we can do in life. However, there was very little advice on how to live your life. Lyrics from Toby Keith's song, Somewhere Else, say, because if you don't know where you're going, you might end up somewhere else. I believe before we can envision our future paths, we need to look at where we've been. The world that we've known for the past 18 years will not be the world we continue to live in. 18 years ago, very few of our parents had cell phones. Video cameras and cell phone cameras didn't exist. There was no Facebook for our parents to post our baby pictures and announce our arrival into the world. If your parents haven't already done it, they'll have you post on Facebook long before the night's over. Since the year we were born, there have been 3 presidents added to our history books. And during our 18 years, we've learned so much about other countries and cultures in real time as we've watched the United States become involved in numerous world conflicts. In our short 18 years, we've experienced the trauma that our fellow students in the U.S. had experienced from school shootings, Hurricane Katrina, and the destruction of the World Trade Center on September 11, 2001. In addition to technology and historical developments, we've also been part of a generation that has developed a new language, or perhaps just reinvented the English language. Some of our parents and teachers are still struggling with this new lingo, commonly referred to as text talk. Most of us have been in school together for 13 years. We've worked and played together and formed friendships that will last a lifetime. In addition to the vast knowledge we've learned from our parents and teachers, there are some things we've learned from and about each other that will remain with us throughout our lives. Here are just a few of the lessons I've learned from my classmates. The first one, this was a painful one. Never play paintball against Kip Lee. You're going to end up with several bruises, including your pride. Never go one-on-one with Jacob Brantley. He's 6'3" with a 3-foot vert. That's pretty self-explanatory. Never argue with Chelsea Lehman. She'll be there all day. And if you're a conservative, don't talk politics with Daryl Darley. It's an exercise in futility. Don't bother with a wild haircut. There's no way you're going to outdo Omar's bangs. Never hand Jake Adams anything you don't want broken. The more it costs, the worse its chances are. Just ask my mom about a glass table we used to have. Stephen Blair taught me that no matter what you're doing, it's possible to get hurt. He stood at the desk playing dodgeball. There's no need to try to impress girls by growing facial hair. Garrett Gimley's been shaving since 6th grade, and the chin strap. You can't compete with the chin strap. If you want to hang out with Garrett Laster, you got to call Terry first to make sure you know what he's doing.
Oh, no, he's dogging it.
If you ever get chosen for the Amazing Race, you need to check with Treelor and make sure he'll be your partner. I learned from Cody Fender and Ethan Staten that long hair is only cool in the winter. My classmates also taught me as a group that if you all stick to the same story, you can convince a substitute teacher of almost anything. We love you, Miss Francis. Since we don't have a graduation speaker tonight to tell us how we can save the world and make a name for ourselves, and I'm not exactly an expert on how to live life, I've asked several people for their advice to high school graduates. I'd like to share this advice with my classmates. Superintendent Tim Reagan said, "Don't take things too seriously." Mr. Reagan said he once knew a kindergartner who came home crying after the first week of school. When the little boy's mom asked him why he was upset, the boy told his mom, "I can't read, I can't write, and they won't let me talk." Principal Dave Rosser said that while passing joys may come from doing what is fun or enjoyable, true happiness only comes through Jesus Christ. Miss Judy Roberts told me that whatever you do in life, you should do it with the mindset of a champion. No matter what it is, if you go into it trying to succeed and do your best, you'll have a much better result. Mr. Ralph Beckham said to make sure you know how to read. Everything else hinges on that one ability. Miss Brenda Corbett told me that hindsight is always 20/20. Mr. Ken Corbett said to be careful whose toes you step on today. And maybe connect it to the butt you have to kiss tomorrow. Mr. Mike Johnson said, your choices and decisions have to be your own, because you're the one that has to live with them. My great-grandmother, and the oldest young lady I know, Miss Bonnie Carter, she's over 90 years old, she told me that I should stay away from whiskey and wild women.
That's a good idea.
Miss Cindy Young told me to work hard, don't give up, and read, read, read. Miss Kim Corbett told me that it's not over until you quit. My mom said, if at first you don't succeed, do it the way your mom told you to. I learned that the hard way. My dad told me that if there wasn't any rain in paradise, there wouldn't be a way for the flowers to grow. My grandmother, Mary Carter, told me that I have the tools, the materials, and foundation to build my own future. And it's up to us what we do with it. My granddad told me that the first step to wherever you want to go in life is self-confidence. If you believe in yourself, you're halfway there. I also received one piece of advice from someone who wanted to remain anonymous. And this one's for all the guys in the room. Your wife will take every dime you ever earn. And your kids will take whatever she misses. After all this advice, there was one saying that really stuck out. It was my cousin Bobby's statements. She said, be yourself and don't do something only because others tell you that you should. Do it because it's what you want for yourself. And for me, the biggest part of this is to be yourself. Most people look at me and see a 6'1", skinny, white country boy. They usually think I like country music, play basketball, and eat grits. Well, only the last one's true. I listen to hard rock music, not country, and I'm absolutely horrible at basketball. But I do love grits. My example just goes to show you can't judge a book by its cover. Despite what others may think of you, it's only what you think that matters. My challenge to you tonight is to live up to the advice and lessons our classmates, teachers, and relatives have taught us. Be proud of where you've been. Be proud of your heritage and education. And most importantly, know where you're going, be true to yourself, and know that as an Echols County class of 2011, you can do anything. To my classmates, 2011 graduating class from Echols County High School, while all this advice is very useful, the only advice you really need can be found in one book, the Bible. 2 Timothy 3:16 reads, all Scripture is given by inspiration of God, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, and for instruction in righteousness. I encourage you to always put God first in everything you do, and may God bless the graduating class of 2011, Echols County Schools, and the United States of America. Thank you.